It's Saturday night tea time in 1977 all over again.
Hi everyone, TardisGuy123 here, and welcome to a review requested by Dazza Brown, thank you for the request, and he requested that I review Zygon Hunt. Let's jump right into this. Right here you have the 50th logo up there, brand new adventures, Zygon right there, Tom Baker, Louise Jameson, written by Nicholas Briggs once again, and it also features Michael Maloney. And you got quite a nice cover here. Obviously that's not actually a giant Zygon chasing them, it's just kind of like artistic license for the cover. You got some of the birds back here which are in the story, and then you got a target locked on that. Oh, and the TARDIS right back there. It's quite a nice cover. Some people have complained about the Zygon on here. I kind of like this design to a Zygon, but anyway, let's take a look on the side. Doctor 2, Zygon Hunt, Big Finish, 3.8, the finale of Series 3, and it was hyped up quite a lot, and a lot of people didn't feel like it lived up to the hype. But anyway, written and directed by Nicholas Briggs. You have the cast down there, standard back, and then on the inside we have the booklet there, and this here, if I just take this out. Didn't intend for that to happen, I'm afraid. And they have the entirety of Series 3 up to this point, plus Night of the Stormcrow, the bonus release. And now for the booklet. Let's just get this out of here. Here we go. So there's the front of your booklet. Producer's notes on the first page. Writer's notes on the second, and also I guess you could say director's notes as well, since Nicholas Briggs was both. And there you have Philip Hinchcliffe Presents, which was the next 4th Doctor release, which came out in September. Still haven't got that yet, I'll have to get it at some point. And they have credits, and of course the alternative cover, which, as I've mentioned many times now, I'm not fond of that logo. Like the text though, just not fond of that logo. So then, what did I think of Zygon Hunt as a story? Now, admittedly, the first couple of times I watched, this is an audio adventure, the first couple of times I listened to it, I found it to be overrated. I kind of like got drawn into the hype and then was just disappointed when it finally came out. But having had a chance to reflect on that and looking back now, I think it's not as bad as I initially thought. I think they kind of like hyped it up to be something different than it actually ended up being, and the hype unfortunately made it seem worse than it actually was for me. Now, I still kind of like don't see it as a perfect story, but on my last listen, which I listened to today in preparation for this, I must say I did enjoy it a lot more than I was expecting to. Which is odd really, I didn't really think I would enjoy it as much, because you know, I listened to it several times before, I knew what it was about, and I knew I didn't enjoy it a whole lot on the first few listens, but actually, it was quite good. So let's get into the positives. Starting off with Leela, this third series has very much been about her character, kind of like developing it and whatnot, and you can see this story playing to her strengths. She's got her kind of like tracking ability, and kind of like navigational sense to help find the TARDIS. That's all very good, and then Tom Baker in this is wonderful. He has a couple of wonderful lines, but nothing particularly memorable, I'd say. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that's particularly funny from him. You know, just kind of like things that are funny at the time, but nothing that sticks in your head like some other Tom Baker stuff does. And then we have the Solar Knights in this, who are fairly interesting characters. You're kind of like instantly made to feel an instant dislike for them, despite kind of like the moral. It's almost as if the story doesn't know whether it wants you to feel for the humans or the Zygons or both. So, I mean, at some points it's making you think the humans are kind of like the bad guys, but at other points kind of like shows that they have admirable qualities too. And at other points it kind of like wants you to see the Zygon as the enemy. And then at times it just makes you think, or both are the same, and that's what makes the ending to this a bit more confusing. I won't reveal what that ending is, but it kind of like goes to that dilemma there, and it's a bit odd. It just kind of like jarred with me a bit, and kind of like, it's a very confusing moral. If it is supposed to be a morality tale, it's quite confusing. So yeah, I feel that's a bit of a problem with the story. It doesn't know what it's trying to be. It doesn't know where it's trying to kind of like be peace between both, or one side is good or the other side is good, which is unfortunate, really, and it's just an unfortunate bit there from writer Nicholas Briggs. And then also it doesn't feature too much Zygon action either. In terms of the Zygons, they are good in this, as in they are quite strong as a monster, but unfortunately they don't get too much to do. It's only really one Zygon that gets a whole lot to do, and that's very much kind of like the morality part of the story. So you don't really have a proper Zygon villain like the amazing Broton, which is unfortunate really, because Broton was amazing, and I'm not sure whether Nicholas Briggs kind of like felt like he couldn't live up to that, so decided to do something completely different, or if it's just the way Big Finisher decided to go with the Zygons, because I believe the Zygon who fell to Earth kind of like goes in this a bit more sympathetic direction too. And while I do like making him sympathetic, it does feel like sometimes this story might have gone a bit too far with that. Yeah, that is quite odd, I feel. But nevertheless, as I said, I did enjoy it earlier. I did say that earlier. And so let's list through some of the more positive things. The story definitely kind of like envelops you, even though you can see kind of like the twist coming a mile off of a certain character. It's still quite intriguing up to that point, and it's kind of like interesting characters in there at times, but none of them really stand out too much, except I forgot his name. Can I remember his name without turning this over and finding out? No, I can't. We'll have to turn it over. Gregor Saraton, Commander Saraton. Yes, he is one of the two kind of like interesting supporting characters, and the other one is Mina. So those two are fairly memorable. The rest are kind of forgettable, unfortunately. In terms of soundtrack, the world created for this story is very strong. I feel that's probably one of the strongest parts of this story. It's just the environment created around them feels very well done, and all the soundscape, it kind of like reminds you of Terror of the Zygons a bit. It's got very much those audio cues, especially with the Zygon technology noises, but nevertheless it's got its own thing going for it as well at times, and that very much helps to create this very nice world. So yeah, I like that part of the story. So then, what would I rate it overall? I've been kind of like in the middle at the moment. I've been saying half the points are good, half the points are bad. However, I did enjoy it quite a bit, so I'd say it's definitely above average. So I'm not going to go straight down the middle with a 5. I'm probably going to go for a 6.5 instead, actually. Yeah, 6.5 seems a fair rating for that Zygon Hunt. I did find it overrated, but on more recent listens, I have enjoyed it a bit more now that I know what to expect from it. So yeah, 6.5 is going to be my rating for this one. A fair story, just nothing consequential, and you know, it doesn't really have what you expect a finale to have. It just feels like a standard story. So maybe if it was towards the middle of the season, I would have thought it to be a better story, but at the end of Series 3, it just feels like a rather standard end, I'm afraid. And you know, Nicholas Briggs also said before, he kind of like leaves me hot or cold as a writer, and this is probably one of the ones that's closer to cold than hot, and Destroy the Infinite is definitely extremely hot. So yeah, that is my basic thoughts on Zygon Hunt. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Thank you for the request, Dazza Brown, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Zygons, Leela. Zygons. This is developing into a full-scale battle. Come on, we've got to get out of here, fast. This doctor is of superior intelligence. When we land, he must be eliminated. We've got to stop the Zygon.